Hey, everybody, welcome back to our extended interview with Howies Hockey. We're talking to Josh VanderWel, the marketing director of Howies Hockey. Josh, I want to jump right into the extended interview with this. You know, we said it in the short episode. You're a household name now in hockey. Why do you think you were able to earn that over the last 20 years? Because again, there's plenty of brands out there. You found a really special place kind of in the hearts of hockey culture, right? I mean,
Yeah.
especially when I think about tape, like I think about Renfro, I think about the smaller tape companies. But now Howie's is like the gold standard for tape. So how did you earn that? How did that happen?
Yeah. So I think a lot of that started with, a lot of our early, sales director and people that have been here kind of from the beginning. Howie himself, Dave Visser, who is one of our longest sales guys, Mason Bollinger, and a few other guys too that have been here since the beginning that diligently have called a lot of our customers. And when I'm talking about customers right now, it's not necessarily the hockey mom or dad that's buying tape for their kid, but I'm talking about the pro shops,
Right.
the all the local pro shops all over North America, as well as the ACHA teams, AHL teams, and even the NHL teams. Those guys have done such an amazing job at taking care of them and
Right.
having those kind of relationships where if a pro shop's like, hey, I'm out of tape and I need it for this weekend, if our warehouse is backed up, I know those guys are going to go out in the back, they're going to pack it up themselves, slap a
Right.
label on it, and make sure it gets out. We take our customer service very seriously, and just keep pushing that envelope of how do we take care of these people better and better. Has proved to be a pretty integral part of growth. So that's been huge for us.
Yeah, and look, I'll tell you too, like I share those sentiments. Like we knew when we started Wraparound, customer service was the top of the list, right? We wanted people to know we cared, not just show them we
Hmm.
cared. Like, if you need something, you're going to get it. Now,
Absolutely.
now the other thing about Howie's that's amazing to me, and again, like I like talking about the innovation, right? Is that now when we brought wraparound to the lexicon, there was nothing like that. So
Hmm.
breaking into hockey with a new product is not insanely hard in the sense of it's something new, right? Like no one's seen it before.
Sure.
Hockey tape's been around 100 years when you guys come around. It's
Yeah.
not new, right? So
Yep.
I'm amazed that the lack of a better word, like you just penetrated that market. And again, you did it with good customer service, which I think
Hmm.
is really amazing. I also think too, kind of alluding back to the other episode, the quality. Like you make good stuff. It's
Yeah.
not, you guys aren't making just cheap stuff that's from far. Again, all the tape is made in North America, which I think is fantastic. We make our wraparounds in North America. That was something we wanted as well, right?
Yeah.
But to break into that industry, I mean, to break the status quo and then to do it as well as you have, I think that is amazing.
Yeah, and I definitely don't want to glaze over the fact that we are trying so hard to make an amazing product. I mean, we want to make sure
Right.
that everyone is always happy with our product every time they're using it. So that's also been obviously a huge part. So, and in addition to that, it's being a brand that people care about and can identify with. That's why
Right.
it's so important to have people that care about hockey and are passionate about the sport working here, because it kind of keeps us all pushing in the same direction.
Right. Well, let's expand on that a little bit because again, you started with tape, right? We all know how he's hockey tape. Now we're calling you Howie's
Yep.
Hockey because you've expanded to some other
Yeah.
products. And in many ways, you're a bit of a lifestyle brand now. Like, I think about this when you walk out into a rink, you look at the t-shirts sometimes the kids are wearing, right? There's a lot of Howie's Hockey apparel, beanies, and different ways of representing your brand. I mean, aside from the logo that everyone loves, right? Was that something
Yeah.
you intended to do? Were there steps to making that happen? Like, how did you become a lifestyle brand as well?
Man, I don't even know if I really thought about it, just because it feels like it's been so gradual. But it's been coming out just a basic T-shirt that has the Howie's logo on it, and we want to make sure that people find out who we are. And I think as it got further down the road, it was just what I kind of almost want to admit that we do it for us here. We want to wear cool stuff that has Howie's brand on it instead of wearing the same T-shirt every
I
day.
get it, man.
Um,
I get
yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I mean, so I think it's kind of morphed into how do we get ourselves out there in front of hockey players as much as possible, and having cool stuff to wear, and if they're wearing stuff that has a Howie's logo on it, that's great for us.
Yeah.
So
Well, look, I see it everywhere I go, which is, you can't go in a rink
means
without
we're doing
spotting
our job.
something. You're totally doing your job. I've even seen like You guys are like Howie's Hockey University shirts now. I mean, you've gone above and beyond,
Yeah.
which I think is the coolest thing. Look, I can tell you right now, there's not one hockey company, including us, that would not want to reach that level with the hockey audience where people proudly want to wear our stuff, right?
Sure.
So, like I said, we look up to you as a brand that's done that. I think it's amazing. I think it's everything again from the logo, but I think there's something to this when you say like, Howie's Hockey Tape. It's kind of a unique name, right? Like,
Yeah.
who's Howie, right? It's a real
Yeah,
person.
exactly.
For those of you listening, you can tell that too.
Yeah.
So along with everything, the products and the lifestyle stuff, you've grown a pretty impressive community, right?
Mhm.
What do you love about your community?
Honestly, it's the passion. I mean, there's nothing better. Briefly before we started recording, we were talking about how we were at Let's Play Hockey in Minnesota and that kind of stuff. But that just is the best part of our jobs, is when we're at a tournament or something and people come up to us and they're like, "Oh, we love your guys' company. We love everything you guys do." Hearing the compliments directly from hockey parents and hockey players at these shows, at the rinks, people that just happen to walk by the office and come inside and say that stuff to us. I mean, it's the best. So, building that community, we've talked a lot about, treating people the right way, and just seeing the dividends of that, and seeing people love the brand and love what we're doing has been huge for us.
Yeah, it is. It makes you want to go to work every day.
Exactly.
And again, we feel that way. Like Wraparound has an awesome community as well. I keep referencing Wraparound, not for obvious reasons, but I'm loving the synergies between the two.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we really thrive on that community. Like, we want to know. I think, what another comment we get a lot is, buddy, is, wow, you responded to me.
Yeah.
Like we get that, like nobody responds. I'm like, no, Howie's responds, but we respond too. And like, it's just cool to have that kind of connection. And it adds a little bit more weight to the work of like, like I have to do this because these people are relying on us. Now that leads right into my next question. As a marketing director, right? As somebody in marketing, you always have to be creative, right? You guys have done a lot of creative stuff over the years, right? And you've been with the company for a while. Do you
Yeah.
have any favorite campaigns or favorite things that you've done or seen from a campaign that you could tell us about?
Yeah, that is a good one.
I need you to rewind back to 10 years you've been there. And
Yeah, I know. We, one of my favorite ones is one that we actually started doing recently, is our stick wax is actually poured right here in West Michigan.
Wow.
And
Cool.
I think starting like 2 years ago, we were like, we could do some like limited edition colors of stick wax. It's always been that same, blue stick wax and the yellow tin or whatever. So we started doing pink wax, and we would, donate proceeds of each tin to I think the Cancer Research Institute.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And that's been blowing up every year more and more. So I think this year we donated right around $10,000
Wow.
to the Cancer Research Institute, and it's just cool to do that stuff that actually helps other people and just blows up and is awesome. So that was one of my favorite ones. Right now we're doing like a 12 days of Christmas thing. So I know the boss doesn't love it as much, but I love giving away stuff. It's kind of
no
just
boss
fun.
loves
Makes you
giving
feel like
away.
the guy with a t-shirt cannon,
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. Well, it feels good, and I think the audience appreciates it too. And what I found with giveaways, I mean, look, this is based on a giveaway show, this extended episode. Is it's just a nod to say thank you to the community of like, look, I can't give everybody a free one, but you can enter in to win something here, and
Sure. Yep. Yeah.
at minimum learn about us. And like I said, look, going through this episode, and this is why we do the extended episodes. You start to hear about the behind the scenes stuff of like, okay, there's a crew of people here that put dinner on the table because of this stuff, right? Like the stuff you purchase. I love that you said it. We pour the wax right here in America, right? I said it, North America. The stuff's made in North America, right?
Yeah.
And you talk about traveling around and meeting people and the quality. Like, I'm not saying consumers don't care about that, but you just don't see it on the surface.
Sure.
I think it's so important that we share that for people that want to know, because it's like we're making a living too, right? Like we're not $100 million company, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or do we aspire to be, right?
Yeah.
It's like, we're just a cool company with cool people making cool hockey stuff, collaborating with other cool hockey people, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it's always a fun part too. If there's ever a hockey tournament in Grand Rapids and people come in and I don't think they ever really know what to expect. I think they know Howie's is based out of Grand Rapids, and they're expecting like almost like a big pro shop or showroom or fancy office and that kind of stuff. And it's just we're just kind of packed in here working. Like that's kind of it's kind of funny to see people's the surprise on their face when they kind of see what it's like here. So
well, yeah, it's like what you'd expect. It's like a hockey fan's room. Right.
Exactly.
I get that too. We bring people here like, oh, this is like a place I want to hang out. I'm like, exactly. that's
exactly
what we tried to create.
Yeah.
This has been a great conversation. Obviously, you all know it, but howieshockeytape.com is where you can go to see more of the products and see more about the story. They do have information there about the story and the people behind Howie's Hockey. But Josh, it's been a great interview. I really appreciate you giving us some time today. And for the listeners, I'm sure you know way more now about Howie's than you knew before, which is always the goal.
Yeah, no, I'm pumped. Thanks for having me on. It's been great.
Yeah, it goes both ways, man. So again, howieshockeytape.com. Make sure to check out hockeywraparound.com if this giveaway is still active, or the next giveaway, whichever one we have going on. And you can check out all of our extended interviews on our YouTube channel, Hockey Wraparound. Thanks so much for listening. Everybody have a great week and skate on.